48 dialysis patients were administered 180 milligrams of this supplement. 9 of them were able to get out of dialysis in just 8 weeks. In this video, 5 ways CKD patients in stage 5 are actually avoiding or getting out of dialysis. Catherine here. I've been working with people suffering from kidney disease for more than 10 years now. And the number of patients with end-stage renal disease is growing annually around the world. And today, the only option for most of these patients seems to be dialysis. But dialysis is an outdated form of therapy with a huge impact on quality of life. And there is the need for an alternative. One that doesn't involve someone passing away and leaving you with one of their organs. These researchers may have found some. Now, today I don't want to focus on those treatments that we will have in the future, such as the artificial kidney or stem cells or xenotransplantation. And that's not because I don't believe in these scientific breakthroughs. It's because today I want to focus on treatments that are alternative to dialysis and that are already being used today on actual kidney disease patients. Yes, there are 5 ways CKD patients in stage 5 are actually avoiding dialysis. Okay guys, before we start, keep in mind that all of these treatments were administered by qualified hospital personnel under the supervision of doctors. Now guys, this video was made for anyone with kidney disease, not just those in stage 5 CKD. There are 5 lessons we can learn from all these innovative therapies that can be used by everyone to improve their kidney health in all the stages. And I will certainly make sure to outline the possible benefits during this video. So yeah, I will focus on the benefits you can get from these therapies in all the stages of CKD. Let's start with our number 5 for today. Our number 5 is a vitamin-like molecule that's used to get 9 dialysis patients to completely stop dialysis. This is a form of double-blind, placebo-controlled trial that was published years ago on the Journal of Nutritional and Environmental Medicine. It's a trial that really impressed me because it was done on dialysis patients. And well, the test subjects were instructed to actively look for signs that they didn't need dialysis anymore. They were instructed to collect all the urine output every day for the duration of the trial and to measure it. Yeah. Imagine that. You are on dialysis one day and the next day you start making enough urine that you don't need dialysis anymore. So let's take a look at this study. Now what they use here is a vitamin-like molecule, a powerful antioxidant called coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10 in short. Test subjects received 60 milligrams 3 times a day of a special formulation of CoQ10 called Q-gel. And while the trial lasted for 12 weeks and involved 48 test subjects in the CoQ10 group, for 9 of them, it only took 8 weeks to completely stop dialysis. Incredible! Now, it's worth mentioning that the test subjects in the CoQ10 group were specifically selected because the author of this study believed that they were possibly going to be able to stop dialysis. They were still making urine before the trial started. This doesn't make these findings less interesting, however. Now a question. Can you still benefit from CoQ10 if you are in stage 3 or 4? Yes, absolutely. After this trial, CoQ10 was tested extensively in CKD patients, and it was found to be able to improve many metabolic parameters, including cholesterol levels, and to lower creatinine levels significantly. As we can read from this meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials published in the current pharmaceutical design. And I recommend CoQ10 especially to people taking a statin or a beta blocker, or in general to those over 50. This is because taking statins or beta blockers or being over 50 will make your natural production of CoQ10 decrease. And while today CoQ10 is not generally given to those prescribed statins, I believe in the near future this will become common practice. Now guys, if you think this is interesting, don't forget to give this video a like and also consider sharing it with a friend. Number 4, another incredible discovery. In this study titled the Dialysis-Free Protocol, the aim was to free patients who had troubles during dialysis. Maybe because they weren't able to access a dialysis center or because they had troubles being administered dialysis. This study was done on 5 end-stage renal disease patients and was published on the Functional Foods in Health and Disease Journal. All the patients were able to avoid dialysis for 6 to 10 months while following the protocol. So question, what did they use in this trial? We're looking at the 3-directional way to reduce or eliminate nitrogenous waste product here. Nitrogenous waste product refers to all the toxins and scores the kidneys cannot remove in stage 5, such as urea, creatinine, uric acid, and more. All the things we don't want piling up in our blood. How did they do it? First thing was a low protein diet. Now, reducing protein intake drastically in someone with stage 5 not on dialysis may seem obvious right now. I mean, everyone is supposed to do that if they have CKD, but it wasn't obvious at all when this study was published. More about why this is important later on in this video. Second part of the protocol was an oral absorber called activated charcoal. Oral absorbers are one of the most important parts of any protocol to avoid dialysis. This is why we are also going to see more about activated charcoal later on in this video. Before that, the third component of the dialysis-free protocol is an oral probiotic called lactulose, as we can see here. So what is lactulose? It's a prebiotic that's usually prescribed to treat constipation, and that's also found to be able to have a serious positive impact on the gut microbiome. This prebiotic is able to change the gastrointestinal microflora to improve the quantity of healthy bacteria, especially bifidobacteria and lactobacilli, according to studies. And this prebiotic can also be beneficial for people in stage 3 and 4. It can help them lower their creatinine level significantly, as we can see in this study. But how could you benefit from it? Well, this can be useful for someone who needs a laxative, because it's probably the only laxative that lowers creatinine levels. So for example, you could talk to your doctor and get prescribed lactulose instead of a different laxative in case you needed one. Also because constipation is not something we want with CKD. It can even raise serum potassium levels, and using lactulose could be a way to solve this problem and help you improve. And keep in mind that this is a prebiotic we are talking about, extremely useful for anyone with CKD. So let's talk about prebiotics. Prebiotics have been used in patients who wanted to avoid dialysis in more than one study. Our next entry is in fact, I believe, the most studied form of dietary dialysis. It is actually both a prebiotic and an oral absorber, so we can do 2 of the functions that a dialysis alternative would need to perform. Time to see our number 3 now. There is a study that's somehow even more incredible than what we saw until now. A study focused on a prebiotic that alone was able to keep stage 5 patients dialysis free for up to 8 years thanks to a prebiotic called acacia fiber. This is a supplement that has been tested extensively in people with kidney disease and with some incredible results. It was actually found out that acacia fiber, especially if in combination with low protein diet, can make a serious difference in all the stages of CKD. This is because this substance directly binds to creatinine and other uremic toxins in the intestine, preventing them from reaching the bloodstream and the kidneys. But how effective is acacia fiber? According to this study conducted on 9 stage 5 patients, all the test subjects who tried it felt better with their urea and creatinine levels dropping during the treatment period. They followed these patients for anywhere from 8 weeks to 8 years. 3 of them stayed on the therapy for over 2 years, and 1 patient stuck with it for 8 years, still going strong with low creatinine levels and 0 uremia symptoms. After that, more research showed that this natural substance can help in all the stages of CKD. So consider adding it to your regimen if you aren't using it already. And more info about it in the description, by the way. Now, as promised, let's take a look at one of the most promising oral absorbers out there, activated charcoal. This is the oral absorber that was used in combination with lactulose in a low-protein diet on 5 end-stage renal disease patients to achieve months of freedom from dialysis. So what is activated charcoal and why is it interesting? Activated charcoal is a popular product today. It is used at home, for example, in teeth or skin whitening products, and it's also used in hospital setting to treat overdoses and poisonings and to protect the kidneys from the damage done by CT scans and MRIs. It works because 1 teaspoonful of activated charcoal has more surface area than a football field. This makes it extremely absorbent, and once ingested, it acts like a powerful scrub for your body and kidneys. But now you may ask, why is activated charcoal number 2 in this sub 5 when our number 3, acacia fiber, was used alone to achieve a longer freedom from dialysis? Well, even if activated charcoal is not as powerful as acacia fiber, the reason why I still consider it interesting for us is this medicine. This is called AST-120 or cremazine, and it's an activated charcoal-based treatment that's being prescribed today in various Asian countries, including Japan and the Philippines, to treat CKD in stage 3 and 4. It can delay dialysis significantly by several years. And the reason why it's being prescribed is because it saves a lot of money to the government in the countries where healthcare is public. So the reason why activated charcoal is number 2 is a treatment based on it, which is approved to significantly delay dialysis in people with kidney problems. Now, AST-120 is not just your standard activated charcoal. It is a medicine created to bind specifically to uremic toxins without removing too much nutrients and vitamins from the intestine. So if you live, for example, in the Philippines and you are not getting it, talk to your doctor and see if it can help you. But don't go away yet. There is still our number 1 to look at, which is number 1, low protein diet. There is a recurring component of all the studies focused on avoiding or delaying dialysis. It's the use of a very low protein diet. What we need to understand here is that avoiding dialysis is all about getting rid of uremic toxins. All these forms of dietary dialysis revolve around a substance that binds to uremic toxins in the intestine and removes them. But clearly, there isn't a substance that can remove all the uremic toxins. So what about decreasing the production of uremic toxins? Well, this is where the low protein diet is going to help, because you see, protein metabolism is what creates uremic toxins in the first place. This is why, while the other ways of avoiding dialysis we have seen today are only experimental, a low protein diet is not just recommended to people with CKD. It's actually something everyone should be prescribed. This is why it's our number 1 for today. And guys, if you want to learn more about the low protein diet and how to benefit from it, my video up here is for you. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye.